All right. Welcome back, folks. And in this training, we're going to continue our beginner training. This is part 3. So right here is the RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. So RAG enhances large language models by retrieving relevant information from external knowledge bases before generating responses, combining the power of search with generative AI. Knowledge retrieval, so searches external databases for relevant context, and context augmentation injects retrieved information into the prompt, and grounds generation LLM generates responses based on retrieved facts, and reduces hallucinations, anchors responses in real data and documentation, and applications are like QA systems, chatbots, research assistants, and document analysis. You're actually using RAG systems quite a bit inside of LLMs, and this is an idea how it uses. So where the generated responses, this is your user interface, that's where it's going to retrieve. The user query is going to come in, vector databases enabling, and then retrieve the documents. LLM is going to process through all those different processes and find the best way to process the data or information it's trying to figure out for you, and then it's going to generate your response from there. Vector embeddings. So vector embeddings are numerical representations that convert words, sentences, and concepts into dense vectors of numbers, capturing semantic meanings and relationships in a mathematical space. Numerical representation converts text into arrays of numbers that machines can process. Semantic similarities. Similar concepts are positioned close together in a vector space. Dimensionality, typically 100 to 1000 plus dimensions capturing different aspects of meaning. And applications, search engines, recommendation systems, semantic analysis. And so again, it's like a universe we're looking at literally on the picture. It's basically getting reasoning and the information that it needs to tap into when it's doing its deep research. MCP, this is another word we've heard a lot about recently, and Model Context Protocol. Model Context Protocol, interesting, right? Model Context Protocol is a standardized interface that enables AI models to securely connect to and interact with external data sources, tools, and services in real time. Standardized interfaces, universal protocol for AI data source connections, and multiple source connections to databases, files, APIs, and web services, and context augmentation provides LLMs with up-to-date domain-specific information, and real-time access enables dynamic data retrieval during interface. And use cases, enterprise AI, personal assistance, specialized knowledge systems. The MCP is revolutionizing the whole space, to be real. And think of it as a super API that doesn't necessarily require an API to get the data that it needs. So typically, other systems would use APIs and you'd have to connect all these APIs to get certain data sets and access. MCP can break through some of that. It may use APIs to gather some of its information, but it can go also direct to source. It can go and talk to other data sets like through AI, which is interesting. It could actually talk to other AIs to get access to certain data sets, and then it could run it through the process on the back end. It's a hard one to wrap your mind with, as with a lot of this stuff is, but the more you start to understand this, the more you might be able to build this into your application. A lot of applications that you guys build that we teach inside of the CodeVibin system could utilize this with a chatbot that can actually do all the processes and systems that your app currently does, making it super easy for the end user to use, because all they have to do is just talk to the chatbot, and then the chatbot can actually fill out the forms and fill out the data sets that need to be filled out, and then also interact on the back end. So it's really interesting. It's like a operator behind your app or whatever your application does. It's like an operator behind there that's communicating through all its current connections and the internet. So pretty cool. So before MCP and versus with MCP. So before MCP, it's like fragmented iterations, lots of APIs, FTP, all of this like developer stuff that a lot of developers would take forever to develop systems to extract and access databases and file systems and web services and API calls. And so it's complex latency issues, maintenance issues, scalability is limited. And it's just they call it spaghetti architecture that happens a lot. You can have AI refragment your whole system to operate with the least amount of code and the most optimized in the back end. And so you can speed things up, make it faster, scale faster, and have less maintenance. So on the other side, with MCP, Unified Standard Protocol, it's like when you see all these wires behind your TV and they're all mixed up everywhere. And then you have a guy that's a pro who drills a hole in the wall, puts two different settings, runs cord behind there, and you just plug each thing perfectly in there. And then he zip ties everything together. So it's like perfectly set together. And it just creates optimal efficiency, low latency, low maintenance, high scalability. It's clean architecture. It puts AI in the back end. And so AI can basically access everything unified, and it's just better in everything. And we're still, I don't know what timeline you're seeing this in, but in a certain timeline, this is going to continue to grow. It already is. Training versus inference. So training requires massive labeled data sets, hardware, GPU clusters, high computational power, times hours to weeks, depending on model size, processing learning patterns through backpagination, and goal optimize model weights to minimize error. And inference is data, single input or small batch, and hardware, CPU or single GPU, efficient deployment, time milliseconds to seconds for real-time response, process applying learned knowledge, forward pass only, and goal generate accurate predictions on new data. This is a very interesting information on this side too, because the training has to happen in these systems. When Elon Musk started Gronk and he built a brand new cluster of all these NVIDIA GPUs and computer system, he talked about this. He talked about the time needed it to crawl the internet and interact with people to train itself. But now it's AI and inference phase, and now it's fast predictions with new data. So cuts down that latency. It's super uber fast, and you're going to see it being implemented, I think, in its autonomous car systems and whatnot. Future is bright with this and very interesting. Okay. So let's get into the acronyms. I know we've said a few of them throughout this, and also we're probably talking about a few that we didn't talk about. But these are just good acronyms to know, so that way you can understand the industry. AI, artificial intelligence, simulation of human intelligence by machines. ML, which is machine learning, algorithms that learn from data without explicit programming. DL, deep learning, which is machine learning using multi-layered neural networks. And then NN, neural networks, compounding systems inspired by biological neural networks like our brain. And artificial neural networks, computational model with interconnected nodes or neurons. And DNN, deep neural networks. So neural network with multiple hidden layers. And CNN, convolutional neural networks, specializing networks with process grids like data and images. And then RNN, recurrent neural networks, network designed for sequential data with memory. And then LSTM, long short-term memory. RNN variant that solves vanishing gradient problems. And then GAN, generative adversarial network. So two networks competing to generate realistic data. Let's go to part 2 of the AI acronyms. NLP, natural language processing. So enabling computers to understand and generate human language. LLM, large language models, massive AI model trained on vast amounts of text data. GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. LLM that generates text by predicting next tokens. And then BERT, bidirectional encoder representation of transformers. So transformer model that reads text bidirect. Retrieval Augmented Generation combines retrieval from database with LLM generation. And then MCP, Modal Context Protocol, standardized interface with AI data source connections. And then AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. You probably heard that one coming up quite a bit, but that's AI with human level intelligence across all domains. RSI, Artificial Superintelligence, which Mark Zuckerberg is on a race to create, and I think so is everyone else in the space. But AI that surpasses human intelligence in all aspects. And then computer vision, CV, enabling machines to interpret and understand visual information, and RL, reinforcement learning, learning through trial and error with rewards and penalties. AI applications across healthcare, autonomous vehicles, voice assistants, finance, manufacturing, entertainment, education, cybersecurity, retail, and e-commerce. These are probably the major industries that you're going to see this in. And also, if you want, you could just pause this here. If you want to read more about it, by all means, go for it. AI ethics and challenges. So bias and fairness, right? So these are some of the challenges we're currently dealing with. There could be untethered AIs in other countries, who knows? But it's very important that these bylaws and these guide rails are created. So bias and fairness, need to make sure that it does understand that. Privacy and data protection, that's also a big issue. Transparency and explainability, that's getting better. And then accountability and responsibility, and then safety and security. You can pause the video if you want to read more about those. All right, and the future of AI. So AGI, artificial intelligence, AI systems with human level intelligence across all cognitive tasks, capable of learning, reasoning, and adapting to any intellectual challenge without domain specific training. So that's interesting, right? AGI is the future. Quantum AI, I'm not going to read all of these, but quantum AI is very interesting too, using quantum computing, brain computer interfaces, like being able to put a chip inside of your brain and working directly with AI through your brain, like wet wired. Multimodal AI, advanced systems that seamlessly understand and generate across text, images, video, audio, and 3D environments, creating truly unified AI assistants. We're going to see with wearables and glasses that you wear, and AR stuff, augmented reality that you wear. And then AI human collaboration, I think that's also going to be part of that. That's where the big opportunity is, AI human collaboration. That's why we're so big at CodeVibin, to bring people with us into the world of AI, because we all have to adapt. It's not even you need to, you got to, but you're going to get a lot out of it when you do it. So that's why we're so big about it. And that's why we're teaching everybody, because we want people to adapt, and we want them to flourish, and we want them to live in this new world that we're transversing into, we're ascending into. We got just a couple more takeaways to go over, but you should join CodeVibin Academy if you haven't done so already. You're going to learn how to build apps utilizing AI. You're going to literally be the AI guy at your company who can collapse time, make processes easier, get rid of some of the mundane tasks that some people are currently experiencing, which make it no fun. So you'll increase company morale. Or we're going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to build a business from an app that you could scale and then sell one day. Or if you don't have ideas, you could actually start an agency, and we'll teach you how to do as well. And you'll be able to sell this as a service to other companies, like the fact that you know how to use AI to build the systems that they want, so you can get those systems built within a couple of months versus 6 months to a year for beta. Even you can collapse time there as well. So you'll be able to master AI powered app development from scratch, hands-on projects with real world applications, learn modern frameworks with like LLMs, RAG, MCP integrations, and then build your portfolio with production ready AI apps. And then we give you expert guidance and supportive community of other builders. So you'll be able to transform your ideas into intelligent applications, starting with AI development. Start your AI development journey now and today. I highly recommend that you do. Just check it out from inside. Some key takeaways. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you got a lot of information from this video. And so AI includes ML and DL in a hierarchy, and neural nets learn via forward and back prop to minimize error, and architecture CNNs for images, RNNs for sequences, transformers for language, LLMs, e.g. GPT, are large transformer models trained on massive text, and RAG or MCP connect models to external knowledge and live data, and training needs huge data and compute. Inference is fast for real time, and ethics, bias, privacy, transparency, accountability are essential, and AI spans healthcare, autonomous vehicles, education, and cybersecurity. And that is it, folks. I want to thank you personally for taking the time to go through this. I hope you got a lot of information out of it. I hope that your understanding of how all this works in the back end is better. And I hope that it actually helps you create even better. So you'll know a little bit about what's going on in the background, and also you'll start wrapping your mind around these. Also, if you don't get a lot of these things, which is totally 100% acceptable, I didn't get it for a long time. I'm a slow learner. I need to see things a few times. I need to watch things over and over. I need to hear it from other people. I need to read from other sources. I totally get it, but you're on the path now. You're on the AI journey, and it does begin here. So keep learning, keep building, and keep exploring the incredible possibilities of artificial intelligence. The future is bright by those who understand it. Okay. So I'm going to end with that note there, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao.